Hey, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co, and today I thought we'd take a look at the 10 oldest and 10 newest games on the Board Game Geek Top 100. I will say this video is being filmed on May 22nd, 2025, just for the record because of the fact that games do move around on spots at any different point, and so these might have shifted a degree in some way, but for the most part this is semi-accurate to the current Top 100 and Board Game Geek. I'll also say that despite me saying the 10 oldest and the 10 newest, is actually going to be the 12 oldest and the 12 newest because there are ties on the dates, and no, I did not go down to which month a game was released, and so we actually have the 12 oldest and 12 newest. And what I'll be doing is I'll be going through the 12 newest games on Board Game Geek in order of how old they are, I guess, or how new they are. We'll get to them soon. I'll explain it all as soon as we go through it, and then we'll do the 12 oldest games on Board Game Geek, and then I will also give you my average rating of each of them, of each of the two pools, like which one. In fact, you can go ahead and guess down below. There's no bonuses, there's no prizes, there's just brownie points. You can earn brownie points. I don't track them, but you certainly can. But if you want to earn brownie points, you can go ahead and guess, do I, on average, have a higher ranking for the 10-12, for the 12 oldest games, or for the 12 newest games on Board Game Geek? And I guess I'll let you answer again. You can actually have two answers. You can have an answer now, and you can have an answer after you see all 12 of both of them, all 24 games we're going to go over today. With that said, let's go ahead and dive into it. This is the Board Game Geek Top 100, again, as of May 22nd, 2025. It is a constantly changing list, although they generally do have a degree of consistency, especially as you get higher up the list. Things do tend to stay still as much as possible, but there are things that like to move up the list. For example, what's the newest one we have in the top 100 up here? I don't know, Dune Imperium Uprising is certainly pretty new, but there's others. What else is there? What else is actually that high? That moved up the list pretty quickly. I don't actually know what's here. I mean, we'll see as we go through it. That's the whole point of this video. I guess let's go through the video. Let's do the video. So we have coming in at number 12, and again, there's going to be 3 in this, 4, 5, 6, no, how many? 6, 7? There's like 7 or 8 games in this category. Basically, 2023 has most of the new games in the top newest games. It's going to be 2023, 2024, and 2025, except there are no 2025 titles, at least not yet. A lot of things rising pretty highly through the ranks, but currently nothing listed as 2025. It's all 2023 and 2024 titles. To that end, we have coming in at number 12, and again, there's no real order. I say number 12, what I really mean is 8 of the 12 are 2023, and 4 of the 12 are 2024. But coming in number 12, we have Dune Imperium Uprising, the newer version of Dune Imperium, coming out of the 2023 release date and an 8.7 score. The scores I'm going to give our BGG. I'll give my average score at the end. Age of Innovation is going to be another 2023 title with an average score of an 8.5, ranked 63 over here. So we have Dune Imperium Uprising being 12, Age of Innovation being ranked 63. Then we have Hegemony, Legio Class to Victory, ranked 46 over here, which, by the way, these things already changed. It was 47 yesterday when I was putting together this list. A day later, and it's already 46. It's rising through the ranks with an 8.4 average score. Sky Team is another 2023 title, which is currently coming in at 35 on the BGG Top 100 with an 8.2 rating. I like it, not that much. Darwin's Journey, one I still need to play with a 94 on the BGG Top 100. It was 96 a day ago. 94 on the BGG Top 100, an 8.1 rating. That's Darwin's Journey. Then we have Great Western Trail New Zealand coming in at 96 on the top 100 over here, and we have 96 top 100 with an 8.5 average rating. Then we have Ticket to Ride Legacy Legends of the West with an 88 average rating and a 2023 title again. This is an 8.7, deserves every single bit of that. I think it's a fantastic experience. Then we have the White Castle coming in at 87 on the Board Game Geek Top 100 with a 8.0 average rating. This is the White Castle, another 2023 title, and the last of our 2023 titles. That brings us to our 2024 titles, where we have SETI, an 8.4, probably the fastest rising. I think this is the newest from the 4, if I'm not mistaken. From the 4 we have, I think this is the most recent. But SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, I believe it was an Essen release, so like towards the end of last year, but coming in at 60 on the Board Game Geek Top 100, which means it is going to climb. I anticipate this one making its way into the top 20, especially once the expansion is released. Like if it's 60 this fast, that's only going to grow as it continues to get its way into more gamers' hand. The BGG Top 100 is a combination of how well ranked a game is, but also how many people have it and have ranked it. That's going to be a factor as well. And with it coming out the most recent, it's going to continue to climb. I'm anticipating a top 20 title, especially once the expansion makes the game even better. From there, we have Slay the Spire, an 8.7 rating, a 50 on the Board Game Top 100, another new to the list over here, incredibly popular game based on the video game and did a great job as far as the adaptation to the board game, a 2024 title. We have Harmonies coming in at number 3. Again, these rankings are all arbitrary because they're so, when we get to the oldest games, it at least makes more sense, but over here it's just all 2023 and 2024. But Harmonies, an 8.0, ranked 83, another 2024 title, and then lastly, we have Lord of the Rings, Duel for Middle-earth. I believe this was a Gen Con release, but I could be wrong. But 41 on the BGG Top 100, a re-implementation of Seven Wonders Duel. Similarly, we had like Dune Imperium coming with like, you know, Dune Imperium had Uprising. We have Age of Innovation, which is a follow-up of the entire line of Terra Mystica and Gaia Project and all of that. Great Western Trail in New Zealand was, you know, a follow-up to Great Western Trail. Ticket to Ride was a follow-up to Ticket to Ride. So a lot of these games are kind of based on existing things, although some of them are certainly new. So we have Lord of the Rings, like I said already, 41, 8.4 average rating. But again, going through this list, from these 12 games, Dune Imperium is already existing audience in play. Age of Innovation, an already existing audience in play. Hegemony was new. New creators, new designers, knocked it out of the park. Sky Team over here, and not a new publisher, but definitely a new team as far as like, you know, this one became incredibly popular. We have Darwin's Journey, another new one, Great Western Trail, based on something prior, Ticket to Ride, based on something prior, The White Castle from Devir Games, not a new publisher, but, you know, a new game, SETI, a new game, Slay the Spire, based on something prior, not a board game this time, a video game, but still, Harmonies, and then we have the Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle-earth. So 6 of these 12 games already kind of had existing audiences. In the case of the Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle-earth, 2 existing audiences, Seven Wonders Duel, as well as the entire Lord of the Rings IP. And so these are the 12 newest games on the Board Game Geek Top 100. I am curious, what 2025 title, like a little intermediary before we go into the newest, what 2025 title do you think is the most likely to make its way into the top 100? Like, I'm curious when we're going to see a 2025 game in the top 100. It does take some time to climb those ranks, but it does happen every single year, slowly but surely, as we can see from the 4 from 2024. Like, it's only May right now. It's only May. Like, that means, like, these things climbed. Like, it didn't take that long to climb. And again, SETI being the newest, fastest climber. Like, do you remember when Arc Nova, like, at this point, we're looking at 2023-24, but, like, Arc Nova is a 2021 title. Do you remember when that went from nothing to the top 100 in like months? It was insane. Things pick up. Things pick up. Anyways, that is going to be your first batch of games. Just means we go to the newest batch of games. These are the oldest games on Board Game Geek's Top 100, and we're going to be going from the least old all the way to the oldest. Because we're doing newest, we went from the oldest to the newest, and now in the oldest category, we're going from the least old to the oldest. Coming in at number 12, there are 3 tying for number 12. We still ended up with 12 total, but at least this list makes more sense. In fact, I think from these, we have a few ties for 2011, we have a few ties for 2007, and I think the rest were pretty distinct. But with that said, we have Mage Knight the Board Game, a 2011 title, an 8.1 and ranked 36. An excellent game, well worth your time. Eclipse Econon for the Galaxy. This is like our first, like, is this our lowest score so far? What is the lowest score we have so far? These are all above 8s. All above 8s. We have an 8 at the White Castle. That's our lowest score. The lowest BGG score is an 8. I didn't actually do, like, when I went to the most popular, I didn't actually rank that. I just went with mine. Oh, Harmonies is also an 8. Okay. When we go to the oldest titles, we have Mage Knight coming in with an 8.1. We have Eclipse Econon for the Galaxy, our first title that dips below an 8 average rating, but with 28,000 people owning it, it still makes it into the top 100, although at the high end at a 91. Then we have over here, we have the Castle of Burgundy being our number 10 over here, an 8.1 average score with like 81,000 people owning the game. Coming in at number 16, well deserved. I'm obviously loving this one over here as my favorite game of all time. Then we have Le Havre. Le Havre, another title that dips below an 8. It's interesting. I do wonder if there's like a newness effect to games, and I wonder if over time that depreciates or whether there's just, you know, I don't know. I'm curious how this maths out. Anyways, coming in at number 74, we have Le Havre from Uwe Rosenberg. Fantastic game. The first Uwe Rosenberg game that I truly loved. Like, I dove into this hobby, and Uwe Rosenberg was someone I quickly found because, I mean, obviously, but then I started playing his games, and they were all good, but Le Havre was the one that stood out to me for a long time until Le Fils Rodin came along, and it's probably my favorite from his, but Le Havre is excellent, coming in at 74. We have Race for the Galaxy, 7.7. I'm definitely starting to notice that trend. The BGG average score is definitely going to be worse on the second list over here. My average score, we'll see. That we'll see. But the BGG average score definitely depreciates over time. We have 7.7 over here, ranked 85. Race for the Galaxy is going to be our number, and this is a 2007 title. We went from 2011 2011, to Le Havre in 2008, and then Race for the Galaxy in 2007. But 2007 is the year I said we have multiple ties. We have Brass Lancashire going over that 8.0 rating over there. We have ranked 21 on Board Game Geek. Brass Lancashire, this is before the new version of the game, but an 8.2, very, very popular game, and the newest version has done nothing to hurt that. We have Agricola, another below the 8. Wow, it hurts. It hurts to see all these old good games being like degraded like this with all those sub 8 ratings. Anyways, 7.9, a 2007 title and ranked 59. This is one of those Uri Rosenberg games that I loved. I still love it. I'm excited for the Awakened Realms version. They did wonders with Castle of Burgundy as well as Puerto Rico, but Agricola over here, 2007 title, and one that I liked, had it for years, and I'm excited to return to it with this new version. Then we have Twilight Struggle, above that 8. This is ranked 14 overall and 8.2, a game that I definitely tried because it was the #1 game on BGG for a long time, but I don't love it. I don't love it. I think it's a good game. I understand why it's popular, but it's not for me, a 2005 title. Then we have Power Grid coming in at 7.8. It looks like those older titles have those high 7s, but we have 2004 title, 7.8, coming in at number 70 on the Board Game Geek title, on the Board Game Geek hotness. This is one I wouldn't be surprised to see a deluxified version. I think this one can bear a deluxified version as well, like we're seeing with all these old titles. I think it's a very good game. I never fell in love with it, but I always enjoyed it. Then we have Puerto Rico, a game that I barely remember playing the original version way back when, but I have been playing through the Awakened Realms prototype, and I think it's great. I think like the deluxification of this game really matters. Like Castle of Burgundy is a game I loved despite the game not looking great, but Puerto Rico is a game that I think this level of deluxification I think will boost that rating. I do wonder, although I wonder how, like, if it's going to be its own listing on BGG, but I think it is actually. But either way, this is a game that I think a lot of people are going to like that deluxe version. It does the game so much justice. It is worth it. A 7.9 on Board Game Geek, 51 rated, and a 2002 title. Then we go to El Grande. We drop down to 1995. We go from 2002 to 1995 in the BGG Top 100, coming in at 98, which is a shame, honestly. This is one of the best games in the BGG Top 100. It's a game that stands the test of time so ridiculously well. Again, 1995, although we do have one more coming up. I do wonder if you can guess. Some of you already know. If you want more brownie points that, once again, only you can calculate, you can go ahead and post your comment down below right now at this point before I go forward as to what the #1 game is, meaning the oldest game in the BGG Top 100, and I do love it, by the way. But going to El Grande, El Grande is a 98 ranking, a 7.8 rating. It is a 1995 title, and it's so good. It is the best 5-player game I own. I want to say that with almost absolute certainty. I'd have to go through my collection, but it's such a good experience. And then #1, which many of you guessed, is Crokinole, coming in with 1876. We drop 100 and, what's the math on that? 119 years, I think that is. We drop 119 years into the past, and we pick out Crokinole, coming in at 44 and carrying that above 8 rating. This game is so good. It is worth getting. It's expensive though. It is expensive. But and shout out to Tracy Boards, which is not a sponsor for this video, but they do make great boards. But Crokinole, an excellent dexterity-based game that really holds its own, and I cannot tell you how many times I play this. It is so ridiculously good. An 1876, 8.1, and a 44 ranking on the BGG Top 100. And this is where you can go ahead and for those last brownie points, you can log in your little guess as far as which ones you think I rank higher. Obviously, we see that, I mean, I haven't done the math on this, but I'm pretty darn sure that if you look at the BGG Top 100, the newer games have an average higher ranking than the older games. We can see that pretty across the board, from everything being above an 8 to like a whole bunch of straddling that line and some dipping below it. But on my end, and I did not play all these games, I have not played Age of Innovation, I have not played Darwin's Journey, technically I haven't played Great Western Trail in New Zealand, but I have played Great Western Trail, so I'm still going to count that, although that might not be fair. And in fact, not only is that not fair, that would actually probably change the answer here. I also have not played Eclipse New Dawn from the older titles, and I think that's the only one. So I haven't played 3 from the newer stuff. From the newer stuff I haven't played, which makes sense, I guess. I haven't played Darwin's Journey, Age of Innovation, or Great Western Trail New Zealand, but I still did count that one as Great Western Trail. And then I haven't played the older title of Eclipse New Dawn, but I have played all of the rest of these games. And to that end, I have a Dune Uprising with a 4.5, Hegemony with a 4, Sky Team with a 4, Great Western Trail New Zealand with a 3.5, although technically I've not played the New Zealand version. Have I played the New Zealand version? I've played multiple Great Western Trails, but let me a second. I played Argentina. That's what it was. I played Great Western Trail and Argentina, not New Zealand. But Great Western Trail with a 3.5. We have Ticket to Ride, Legends of the West with a 5. The White Castle with a 3.5. SETI with a 4.5. Slay the Spire with a 4.5. Harmonies with a 4.5. And the Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle-earth with a 5. Out of 5, by the way, for me. And my average rating for the newer games is coming in at a 4.3. My average rating for the older games, on the other hand, we have Mage Knight with a 4.5, we have Eclipse New Dawn with nothing, we have a Castle of Burgundy with a 5 out of 5, Le Havre with a 4.5, Race for the Galaxy with a 4 out of 5, great older title, I've been meaning to pick it up, Brass with a 4.5, Agricola with a 4, Twilight Struggle with a 3.5, like I said, it wasn't for me, lots that I appreciated, but way too long for what it is, too much luck in my opinion. Yes, I know you can mitigate stuff, just this is me. We have Power Grid with a 3.5, we have Puerto Rico with a 4, El Grande with a 5, and Crokinole with a 5, and that means we went from a 4.3 on the newer titles to an average rating of 4.318 on the older titles, with the asterisk that technically Great Western Trail New Zealand could come in at a 4, which would change things. That would make the difference. But like I'm giving it, I shouldn't really, or just take it out entirely, which honestly would technically even boost the newer ones even more. Anyways, that has been the oldest and newest games in the Board Game Geek Top 100. I thought this would be an interesting video to kind of cover, like, from the 100 games in the Top 100, 24 of these, 24, a quarter of the list, basically. Just so I have a quarter of the list, we have the 12 oldest and the 12 newest. The 12 newest are comprising 8 games from 2023 and 4 games from 2024. That means 12, what's the math in that? Like, 12.5% or 12%? I guess it's 12. It's 12 out of 100. That's pretty easy math. 12% of the BGG Top 100 is made up of games from the last 2 years. Well, last 3 years, because 2025, I guess, technically. But then if you go to the oldest games in the Top 100, the oldest 12 span from 1876 to 2011, which is a much bigger range. Honestly, even if you remove Crokinole from 1995 to 2011, that is a 16-year range, if I'm not mistaken, a 16-year range, as opposed to the 2-year range we're seeing in the top newest games. In any case, and until next time, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you got your brownie points too. And as always, I hope you have a good one.